Hi guys, my name is Shivangi Sengupta and welcome back to my channel. So this is my first review after a very long time. I recently watched The Namesake and I have so much to say about it. Oh my god. So Namesake is a film by Meera Nair. It is an adaptation, a cinematic adaptation of the book The Namesake by Jhumpa Lahiri. It was also a Pulitzer Prize winning book, and I haven't read it yet. But yeah, it is an adaptation of that book by Meera Nair. It is partially in Bengali and partially in English. Really, there are very little excerpts of Hindi, so you have to be multilingual to actually understand it without any subtitles. But there are a lot of subtitled versions available throughout the net. The film is starring Tabu and Irfan Khan as their main leads, who are playing Ashok Ganguly and Oshima Ganguly. And well, it's about how they start a life abroad, the ambitions of people coming from small towns who go abroad in search of opportunities. The namesake connects really, really deeply with me for two special reasons. First is Irfan Khan, and the second is it's in Bengali. I am Bengali, so it connects. It's deeper than other films do. But yeah, regardless of that fact, it's a very beautiful film. The film follows the main character, Ashok Ganguly. It starts with him going on a train journey and surviving a train wreck, which most people did not survive. He starts life anew and has a sort of a rebirth-ish sensation. So he takes more risks, desires to live a more urban life away from family and comfort zones. The pace of this film, I believe, is really, really good. Good in the sense that we as an audience are not left hanging for a very long time, and the story reveals itself, all its mysteries, in due time, such in such a way that you are constantly lured into wanting to know more, and you get your answers, and then it raises more questions that you need answers for, and it keeps getting very interesting. It will almost to finish the movie you wouldn't have to make a lot of effort like some movies do take. A simple example would be Akira Kurosawa's Throne of Blood. It was very slow paced, very revolutionary for the time it was released in, but slow paced, and I had to sit with some patience to actually finish it off. Another thing that makes me love this film is that it has its fair share of intimacy, but it does not border on voyeurism. By this, I mean that a lot of personal scenes kind of steal from the storyline. You are so enchanted with the romance that is going on that it kind of steals from the storyline. And for an art film like this, the storyline is the star of the show, not the actors, not anything else, or not the portrayal, the storyline. It really is deep and it really is relatable. And everybody, even somebody who is from a higher class background to middle class background to somebody who is lower class and is struggling for survival, everybody will find some or the other elements that they do relate with. It is also important to note that no matter how important or beautiful the love between Oshima and Ashok is depicted, this film is not a love story. It's a family drama. It fits in the genre of family life, realism. It encompasses the three, if you could say so, but it is not a love story, and that makes it so beautiful because it has its fair share of everything, all the elements that make it so interesting and so beautiful. For a movie that is released in the early 21st century India, it has a very realistic portrayal of arranged marriages, also going out, going abroad looking for job opportunities, losing touch with their roots, the regret of losing touch with their roots, the helplessness seeking to go back, almost never being accepted by the outsiders, a constant feeling of alienation. Everything has been depicted very realistically, even for the case of Ashok and Ashima, and even their children, Nikhil and the other child. And that reminds me of the reference that Irfan made in the film of The Overcoat, text by Nikolai Vasilovich Gogol. Gogol was a Russian novelist, also the name on which Nikhil's name was based very early on in the film. So, The Overcoat is a story of a common clerk with a meager income. He's constantly teased by his co workers for the terrible condition of his overcoat. So, he spends his entire life that we see in the book trying to collect enough money to buy a new overcoat. One fine day, he does have the money. He buys the new overcoat with the best material that he can afford. And the overcoat is so good that the co-workers, throw him a party in celebration of the great new overcoat that he has managed to buy for himself. And the same night, as he leaves his office, he has his overcoat stolen from him, and he tries to go around, try to get it back, but nobody helps him, or nobody really cares. Everybody thinks it's too trivial a matter. um, and then he dies and haunts people. A simple interpretation of this very beautiful story would be that we are damned if we do and damned if we don't, for people who belong to that class, who are spending their entire life trying to attain something that is trivial in the eyes of somebody who is in a higher position than them. Nikhil Ganguly, or Gogol Ganguly, is seen in the entire film trying to escape from his name, his real identity. He is born a Bengali, but he's constantly trying to be um, like the Americans that he's surrounded with. He's constantly trying to find acceptance and be like them, be urban. But is that what one really wants? Becomes the major question of the entire film. It really takes the death of his father, to finally make him realize that he is chasing something unattainable. He looks like an Indian. He is an Indian, and complete disintegration of any familial or any kind of an identity was not what he intended. His intention was just acceptance. A very great example of a too far gone Gogol that the film itself gives us is Moshumi, who becomes Gogol's wife. She dissociates with her reality so much that normalcy is just not acceptable to her, and anything that is related to her culture is repulsive, which makes even her own husband that she chose for herself very repulsive to her, because she's too far gone and she is too much like them. She can't come back, and only kind of love that is acceptable to her is the kind of love she desires, not the kind of love she deserves. Now, coming to the parts that I like and dislike about the film, there's not really much that I dislike, other than the fact that when they show that Oshima can sing, they choose a very shrill voice to show her singing voice, shrill voiced singer. And I do not know if they did not have a lot of options, because for an art film and with the kind of budget with which this was made, probably they didn't. But yeah, a better singing voice could have been chosen. It would have added to the realism. Tabu has a harder voice, and I think it really suits her. Other than that, I did not dislike anything about the film. What I really like about the film is when Tabu says the dialogue, "You want me to say I love you, like the Americans," which would be perhaps very difficult for some outsiders to understand that what does this statement even mean. But we as Indians would know that for the longest time, all of our parents, even though it's normalized now to say I love you to each other, or all of our parents prove their love with acts of service, and I mean loving through their actions instead of always claiming that I love you. I mean, it's not enough for us. We do for each other. We work for each other. We work for this relationship. In through any relationship, a parent and a child, a husband and a wife, any kind of a relationship is worked upon to show their love, and I think that's really beautiful. It makes our culture really unique. Oshima also makes a sort of a reference to a belief in purpose and afterlife. Well, I don't know what we would exactly call it, but she says that Ashok wanted me to learn to live alone. That's why he left for his whatever semester in Ohio. And then Nikhil finds the overcoat, the book in which all the Gogol short stories are, and finds his dad's letter in which he has a very beautiful message written to his son. I wouldn't spoil everything, but Oshima tells him that your father intended it for you to find it right now. That's why you found it. And I think that belief in purpose, and to keep on going, and then that the death of somebody doesn't make your life stop, that life goes on in general. That is a very beautiful message, and with that I would end my review. I would rate this, uh, I'm so happy when I'm watching films. I think I'd rate any film a 10, but I shouldn't be doing that. So I'd rate this 9.1 sort. And I think it's a near perfect film for me, a very good art film that everybody should watch, must watch. And yeah, I would really like for you to tune in and watch my videos that come after this too. If you like the review, please like, share, and subscribe. If you haven't seen the film, I'd really like for you to watch it. And yeah, bye bye.